to do a few problems on Nyquist stability criterion. First problem. Using Nyquist stability criterion, Nyquist stability criterion, short form is NSC. Find the stability of a closed loop system having the open loop transfer function having the open loop transfer function g of s h of s is equal to 10 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2. Solution. Step 1, to find P. Plot the poles of g of s, h of s on the s plane. S plane is a complex plane having real axis sigma, imaginary axis j omega. It's a complex plane. We have one pole at s equal to minus 1. The other pole is at s equal to minus 2. How do you get the poles? Denominator polynomial of g of s, h of s equated to 0. S plus 1 equated to 0 gives s equal to minus 1. S plus 2 equal to 0 gives s equal to minus 2. Both the poles are on the left hand side of the S plane. P stands for number of poles on the RHS of the S plane. No pole lies on the RHS of the S plane. Therefore, P equal to 0. Since no pole of G of S, H of S lies on the RHS of the S plane, it implies P is equal to 0. So Nyquist stability criterion is Z equal to P plus N. Second step is to find N. Second step to find N. In Nyquist analysis, the right hand side of the S plane is assumed to be inside a semicircle of radius equal to infinity. The right hand side of the S plane is assumed to be the area inside this semicircle whose radius tends to infinity. Let this contour be traversed in the clockwise direction. This is point A, this is point B, this is point C, this is point D. At point A, omega is 0, at point B, omega is infinity. Equation of this semicircle is S is equal to limit r tending to infinity r into e to the power j theta. Equation of path AB is S is equal to j omega. To find N, we have to do mapping of the contour ABCDA in S plane onto G of S, H of S plane. What is G of S, H of S? G of S, H of S is equal to 10 divided by S plus 1 into S plus 2. G of S, H of S is equal to 10 divided by S plus 1 into S plus 2 gives the connectivity between G of s, H of s plane and S plane. Using this function, we have to map the figure ABCDA onto G of s, H of s plane. This process is called conformal mapping. It's called conformal mapping. I hope you have done this in maths. Conformal mapping. I'll take section 1 to find image of path AB. To find image of path AB. This is path AB. What is the equation of path AB? S equal to j omega. Letting S is equal to j omega in G of s, H of s, in G of s, H of s, in G of s, H of s gives GH of j omega is equal to 10 divided by j omega plus 1 into j omega plus 2. J omega plus 1, you convert it into polar form. Magnitude is square root of 1 plus omega square. Real part square plus imaginary part square. Angle is tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. Next 2 plus j omega converted into polar form. Square root of real part square, 2 square is 4 plus imaginary part square, which is omega square. What is the angle? Tan inverse of imaginary part is omega, real part is 2. Multiply the magnitudes, add the angles. When the angle is transferred from the denominator to numerator, it takes a minus sign. So you get 10 divided by square root of 1 plus omega square into square root of 4 plus omega square. Angle is minus tan inverse of omega minus tan inverse of omega by 2. This is like m at an angle phi of omega, where m is equal to 10 divided by square root of 1 plus omega square into square root of 4 plus omega square, and phi of omega is equal to minus tan inverse of omega minus tan inverse of omega by 2. Tan inverse of omega by 2. Let us take the limit omega tending to 0 on GH of j omega. GH of j omega has got magnitude equal to m, angle equal to phi of omega. In the expression for m, if you put omega equal to 0, what you get? 10 divided by root of 1 into root of 4. Angle is, in phi of omega, put omega equal to 0. So you get minus tan inverse of 0 minus tan inverse of 0. So this is 10 divided by 2 is 5. Tan inverse of 0 is 0 degrees. This is point A dash. A dash is the image of point A. Point A dash has got magnitude equal to 5, angle equal to 0. Next I will take the limit omega tending to infinity on GH of j omega. In the expression for m, put omega equal to infinity. So what you get? You get limit omega tending to infinity, 10 divided by, since omega is very large, neglect 1 with respect to omega square. So you get root of omega square. Neglect this 4 with respect to omega square. Root of omega square, angle is minus tan inverse of omega minus tan inverse of omega by 2. So this is nothing but as omega tends to infinity, magnitude becomes 0 at an angle minus tan inverse of infinity minus tan inverse of infinity. So magnitude is 0, tan inverse of infinity is 90 degrees. Minus 90 minus 90 is 180 degrees, minus 180 degrees. This is point B dash. B dash is the image of point B. G of S, H of S plane is a complex plane. G of S, H of S plane is a complex plane having real axis, real part of GH, imaginary axis J times imaginary part of GH. Now, this axis stands for 0 degrees. This axis stands for minus 90 degrees. This axis stands for minus 180 degrees. This axis stands for minus 270 degrees. Angles traversed in the clockwise direction are negative. In the anti-clockwise direction, minus 270 is same as plus 90, minus 180 is same as plus 180, minus 90 is same as plus 270. Now, I'll take the image of point A, which is A dash. What is A dash? Magnitude is 5, angle is 0 degrees. On 0 degree axis, mark a magnitude of 5. This is point A dash. What is the value of omega at point A dash? 0. Point A dash is obtained by taking the limit omega tending to 0. At B dash, what is the magnitude? Magnitude B dash is 0. Is 0. Angle at B dash. Angle at B dash minus angle at A dash. Angle at B dash is minus 180 degrees. Angle at A dash is 0, which is minus 180 degrees. Minus sign indicates you have to move clockwise. 180 degrees indicates you have to move in 2 quadrants. Why 2 quadrants? Because movement in 1 quadrant gives you 90 degrees. So 180 divided by 90 equals 2 quadrants. In simple words, connect points A dash and B dash in such a manner that the curve lies in 2 quadrants and you travel clockwise. So I will draw a smooth curve starting at A dash, ending at B dash, traveling in the clockwise direction, covering 2 quadrants. The shape of the curve is not important. Any shape is okay. So you have to start at A dash, end at B dash. If you look at this figure, the arrow is from point A to point B. Therefore, the image also, the arrow should be from A dash to B dash. I repeat again. In this figure I will call figure 1. In figure 1, the arrow is from point A to point B. In this figure, which I will call figure 2, figure 2 is nothing but polar plot, which I have explained earlier, polar plot. The arrow is from A dash to B dash. This is the image of path AB in G of S, H of S plane. So in S plane, AB was a straight line. In G of S, H of S plane, A dash, B dash is non-linear, it's a curve. The relation between S plane and G of S, H of S plane is provided by the open loop transfer function G of S, H of S is equal to 10 divided by S plus 1 into S plus 2. Next, we have to find the image of the path BCD. Section 2, to find image of the path, BCD. What is the equation of path BCD? S is equal to limit r tending to infinity r into e to the power j theta. Put S is equal to limit r tending to infinity r into e to the power j theta in g of s h of s. When this radius vector is at point B, theta is plus 90. When the radius vector is at point C, theta is 0. When the radius vector is at point D, theta is minus 90. So I write in the brackets, theta changes from plus 90 degrees through 0 degrees to minus 90 degrees. At plus 90 degrees represents point B, 0 degrees represents point C, minus 90 degree represents point D. So when you put this expression in this function, you get limit r tending to infinity gh of r into e to the power j theta is equal to limit r tending to infinity 10 divided by r into e to the power j theta plus 1 into r into e to the power j theta plus 2. Limit r tending to infinity. R tends to infinity means r is very large. Neglect 1 with respect to r. Neglect 2 with respect to r because r is very large. So you get 10 divided by r square into e to the power j times 2 theta. So this is nothing but limit r tending to infinity 10 divided by e to the power j 2 theta means magnitude is 1, angle is 2 theta. See, e to the power j 2 theta is what? Cos 2 theta plus j sin 2 theta. What is the magnitude? What is magnitude of e to the power j times 2 theta? Square root of cos square 2 theta plus sin square 2 theta, which is 1. Therefore, e to the power j 2 theta has got magnitude equal to 1, angle equal to 2 theta. 10 divided by infinity square is what? 0. 2 theta, if it goes to numerator, it becomes minus 2 theta. Now substitute theta limits. At point B, theta is plus 90. If you put plus 90 here, you get minus 180 degrees. This is the image of point B, which is B dash. If you put theta equal to 0, in this expression you get 0 degrees. This is the image of point C, which is C dash. At point D, what is theta minus 90? If you put here, you get plus 180 degrees. This is the image of point D. Please see here. BCD is a circle of infinite radius. Whereas in G of S, H of S plane, the circle has got radius equal to 0. That means it becomes the origin of G of S, H of S plane. Hence, these angles are inconsequential, they are not required. So, I am going to say, hence path, hence the image B dash, C dash, D dash goes to the origin of G of S, H of S plane. This is always true. This is always true when number of poles of G of S, H of S are greater than number of zeros of G of S, H of S. In the present problem, there are no zeros and there are two poles. Whenever number of poles of G of S, H of S are greater in number than the number of zeros, the image B dash, C dash, D dash will invariably go to the origin of G of S, H of S plane. So we started off at A, we went to B, we covered this segment AB, then along this contour we have reached point D. Remaining is the straight line from D to A. Section 3, to find image of path, DA. To find image of path DA. See, if you keep a mirror on x-axis, DA is the mirror image of path AB. So I am going to say path D dash A dash. What is D dash A dash? Image of DA. Path D dash A dash is the mirror image. Of the path A dash B dash with respect to real axis. See, what is D dash A dash? D dash A dash is the image of path DA. What is A dash B dash? Image of path AB. These two images are mirror image of each other with respect to real axis. Now, every image of every section I will combine and write a diagram called Nyquist diagram. Again repeat. G of S H of S plane. G of S H of S plane is a complex plane having real axis real of GH. Imaginary axis J times imaginary GH. This part of the figure already I have written as figure number 3. This is point A dash, this is B dash. I have already explained B dash, C dash, D dash has got magnitude equal to 0. Where will be the magnitude 0? Magnitude will be 0 only at the origin. B dash, C dash, D dash. What it means is the semicircle BCD of radius equal to infinity has become the origin of G of S, H of S plane because the magnitude is 0. Then D dash A dash is the mirror image of the path A dash B dash with respect to real axis. So this is the mirror image of the path A dash B dash. Here the arrow is from D to A. Therefore here in this figure the arrow should be from D dash to A dash. This figure is called Nyquist diagram. In the examination, students may make this mistake sometimes. This is A dash B dash, A dash B dash, C dash D dash. Then draw the mirror image like this. That is wrong because here mirror image is with respect to imaginary axis. If you cut this figure, mirror image with respect to real axis means Nyquist diagram, if you cut along the real axis, the upper portion and the lower portion must be identical. Please note this. In Nyquist criterion, there is a point called -1 plus j0 point. Distance from origin to this point is -1. On real axis, imaginary part is 0. Therefore, this point is -1 plus j0. N stands for number of encirclements around this point. This point is not encircled by Nyquist diagram. Therefore, N is equal to 0. Since -1 plus j0 point is not encircled by the Nyquist diagram, it implies N is equal to 0. To find N, correct, we have to take the images of paths A, B, B, C, D, A and combine these images to draw what is called Nyquist diagram. So, the path A, B, C, D, A in S plane is now mapped onto G of S, H of S plane as the figure A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, A dash. What is Nyquist stability criterion? Nyquist stability criterion is Z is equal to P plus N. This implies what is P? 0. What is N? 0. Z is equal to 0. This implies number of roots of the characteristic equation 1 plus G of S H of S equal to 0 lying on the right hand side of the S plane lying on the right hand side of the S plane is 0. That means no pole, no roots of the characteristic equation or no closed loop poles lie on the right side of the S plane. Hence closed loop control system, closed loop control system is stable. Closed loop control system is stable. Note. Now I want to talk about open loop stability. That means when the feedback loop is open, is the system stable? Since no pole of G of S, H of S, no pole of G of S, H of S lies on the right hand side of the S plane, open loop control system, OLCS means open loop control system, is also stable. So accidentally if the feedback loop becomes open, still the system is stable. If the feedback loop is closed, closed loop system is stable. So open loop stable, closed loop stable, excellent system. Next problem. The problem statement will not change, only G of S, H of S will change. So I'll just write G of S, H of S. So G of S, H of S, G of S, H of S is equal to S plus 2 divided by S plus 1 into S minus 1. Investigate closed loop stability. Investigate closed loop stability. Using NSC. Using Nyquist stability criterion. Step 1 is to find P solution. Step 1 to find P. Plot poles of G of S, H of S on the S plane. S plane is a complex plane. We have one pole, S minus 1 equal to 0 gives you the pole at S equal to 1. S plus 1 equal to 0 gives you the pole at minus 1. Since one pole of G of S, H of S is on the right side of the S plane, P equals 1. Since one pole of G of S, H of S is on the right hand side of the S plane, it implies P is equal to 1. Since one pole of G of S, H of S lies on the right hand side of the S plane, open loop control system, OLCS, open loop control system is unstable. That means if feedback loop gets open, the system will become unstable. That means system will get damaged. That's what it means. Next, to find N. Second step, to find N. The entire right hand side of the S plane is assumed to be inside the semicircle as depicted in figure 1. We have to do mapping of the sections AB, BCD and DA as we did in the previous problem. First is mapping of, to find image of, finding images is nothing but mapping. To find image of path AB. To find image of path AB. Letting S is equal to J omega in G of S, H of S gives gh of j omega is equal to j omega plus 2 divided by j omega plus 1 into j omega minus 1. Next, express each complex number in polar form. Square root of real part square 4, imaginary part square omega. Angle is tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. Denominator j omega plus 1, express it in polar form. Real part square plus imaginary part square. Angle is tan inverse of omega. If you have a complex number of the form minus a plus jb, real part is negative. Magnitude is root of a square plus b square. Angle is 180 degrees minus tan inverse of b by a. Tan inverse of b by a. So here minus 1 plus j omega, real part is negative. Therefore this 180 degree phase shift will come. Magnitude is what? Root of 1 plus omega square. Angle is 180 degrees minus tan inverse of omega. Multiply the magnitudes. So you get magnitude is what? Root of 4 plus omega square divided by 1 plus omega square. Add the angles. When you transfer angles in the denominator to numerator, you have to put a minus sign. Tan inverse of omega by 2 minus tan inverse of omega minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of omega. Tan inverse of omega cancels. So this is like m at an angle phi of omega, where m is equal to square root of 4 plus omega square divided by 1 plus omega square, and phi of omega is equal to minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of omega by 2. Next, I will take the limits omega tending to 0 and omega tending to infinity. Limit omega tending to 0 on gh of j omega. If you take the limit omega tending to 0 on m, if you put omega equal to 0, in the numerator you will get root 4, in the denominator you will get 1. At an angle minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of 0. So tan inverse of 0 is 0, so you get 2 at an angle minus 180 degrees. 2 at an angle minus 180 degrees. This is point A dash. A dash is the image of point A. A dash is the image of point A. Next, we will take the limit omega tending to infinity. Limit omega tending to infinity. When omega tends to infinity, neglect 4 with respect to omega square. So in the denominator you will get omega. In the denominator, neglect 1 with respect to omega square. You get omega square in the denominator. Angle is minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of omega by 2. As omega tends to infinity, 1 over infinity is 0. At an angle minus 180 degrees plus tan inverse of infinity by 2 is infinity. Tan inverse of infinity is 90 degrees. So you get 0 at an angle minus 90 degrees. This is point B dash. B dash is the image of point B. Now I will plot the path A dash B dash. G of S, H of S plane is a complex plane having real axis real of GH, imaginary axis J times imaginary of GH. This is G of S, H of S plane. G of S, H of S plane. This axis represents 0 degrees. This axis represents minus 90 degrees. This axis represents minus 180 degrees. And this axis represents minus 270 degrees. Point A dash has got magnitude equal to 2, angle equal to minus 180 degrees. On minus 180 degrees, mark point A dash. Distance from origin to point A dash is 2. Point B dash has got magnitude equal to 0. Therefore, point B dash is at the origin of G of S, H of S plane. Angle at B dash minus angle at A dash. Angle at B dash is what? Minus 90 degrees. Angle at A dash is what? Minus 180 degrees. So you get what? Minus of minus plus 180. So you get 90 degrees. Angle at B dash minus angle at A dash is 90 degrees. Plus sign means travel anti-clockwise. 90 degrees means one quadrant. Start at A dash, end at B dash. The curve connecting A dash and B dash must be traversed in the anti-clockwise direction and it must lie in only one quadrant. Draw a smooth curve connecting A dash and B dash. The shape of the curve is not important because they are interested in the encirclement about minus 1 plus j0 point in G of S, H of S plane. See, the path AB, which is a straight line, becomes a curve A dash B dash in G of S, H of S plane. The process of transferring path AB onto G of S, H of S plane is called conformal mapping, and this plot is called polar plot. Polar plot. This I will call figure number 2. Next I have to find image of path BCD. Section 2, to find image of path BCD. Put S is equal to limit r tending to infinity r into e to the power j theta in G of S, H of S is equal to S plus 2 divided by S plus 1 into S minus 1. Like in the previous problem, theta changes from at point B, theta is plus 90 degrees, at point C, theta is 0 degrees, at point D, theta is minus 90 degrees. This represents point B, this represents point C, this represents point D. That gives us limit r tending to infinity gh of r into e to the power j theta equals limit r tending to infinity r into e to the power j theta plus 2 divided by r into e to the power j theta plus 1 r into e to the power j theta minus 1. As r tends to infinity, neglect 2 with respect to r. So in the numerator, we get r into e to the power j theta. In the denominator, neglect once with respect to r into e to the power j theta. So we get in the denominator r into e to the power j theta into r into e to the power j theta. 1 r into the power j theta gets cancelled equals limit r tending to infinity 1 over e to the power j theta means magnitude is 1, angle is theta. As r tends to infinity, 1 by infinity is 0. When the angle is transferred from denominator to numerator, it becomes minus theta. Put theta values. If you put theta equal to plus 90, you get minus 90. If you put theta equal to 0, you get 0. If you put theta is equal to minus 90, you get plus 90. These are the images of the points B, C and D, known as B dash, C dash, D dash. See, the magnitude of the circle B dash, C dash, the radius of the circle B dash, C dash, D dash is 0. Therefore, a semicircle of infinite radius has gone to the origin of G of S, H of S plane. So whenever poles exceed the zeros, here there are two poles, only one zero. That means poles exceed the zeros. Hence, path BCD will invariably go to the origin of G of S, H of S plane. In the examination, if there is no time to do this analysis, just write the statement. If number of poles of G of S, H of S are greater in number compared to number of zeros of G of S, H of S plane, the image of path BCD will be the origin of G of S, H of S plane. This statement is good enough instead of this analysis. But in few problems I am doing this to get you the confidence that will always go to the origin of G of S, H of S plane. Section 3. Section 3. To find image of path D. See, path D dash A dash. D dash A dash is the mirror image of path DA. Is the mirror image of path A dash B dash. A dash B dash is the mirror image of AB. Is the image of AB with respect to real axis. This is a very common statement. So I am going to write the path D dash A dash. D dash A dash is the image of DA. Is the mirror image of the path A dash B dash with respect to real axis. In this problem, the critical part is getting the polar plot. Once you get the polar plot, the problem is super simplified. G of S, H of S plane is a complex plane having real axis real of GH, imaginary axis J times imaginary of GH. This is the polar plot which are drawn in figure number 2. This is point A dash, this is point B dash. This distance is 2. B dash, C dash, D dash are at the origin of G of S, H of S plane. I have shown it. Next, D dash, A dash is the mirror image of path A dash, B dash with respect to real axis. So draw the mirror image. This is the mirror image. This is the mirror image. The arrow for mirror image is from D dash to A dash. Here the arrow is from D to A. Hence in the image the arrow is from D dash to A dash. This length is 2. Therefore minus 1 plus J0 is encircled now. 2 is more than magnitude of minus 1 now. There is one encirclement in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction about the point minus 1 plus J0. N is equal to minus 1. Why? Anti-clockwise encirclements are negative. N equal to minus 1 because minus 1 plus J0 point is encircled once in the anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise encirclements are negative. See, this is the encirclement. It is in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction about the point minus 1 plus J0. Nyquist stability criterion is Z is equal to P plus N. This implies P is equal to 1, Z equals 1 minus 1 equal to 0. Z0 means no root of the characteristic equation 1 plus G of S, H of S equal to 0 lies on the RHS of the S plane. Lies on the RHS of the S plane. Hence, closed loop control system is stable. The open loop control system was unstable, but closed loop system is stable. So anything is possible. Open loop could be stable, closed loop may become unstable. Nyquist stability criterion is used to find only closed loop stability. Open loop stability could be found out by just looking at the pole diagram. If any pole of G of S, H of S is on the right side of the S plane, open loop control system is unstable. So please go through these problems. Correct? Mentioning of the planes is very important. The arrow directions are very important in this Nyquist diagram. This diagram is called Nyquist diagram. This diagram is called Nyquist diagram. The basis for this Nyquist diagram is the polar plot. The basis for this Nyquist diagram is the polar plot. So whenever a problem is given to you, first and foremost thing is to find P. To find P, you have to plot poles of G of S, H of S on the S plane. P stands for number of poles lying on the right hand side of the S plane. In the present problem, one pole lies on the right hand side of the S plane, therefore P is 1. P is 1. To find N, we have to do conformal mapping of the path ABCDA, which is a semicircle of radius r tending to infinity. The semicircle has three sections, AB, BCD and DA. Get the images of these sections in G of S, H of S plane. Connect these images and get a diagram called Nyquist diagram. In this diagram, see whether -1 plus J0 point is encircled. In the present problem, -1 plus J0 point is encircled once in the anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise encirclements are negative. Clockwise encirclements are positive. N is equal to -1. Use Nyquist stability criterion Z equal to P plus N. So that gives Z equal to 0. What does Z stand for? Number of roots of the characteristic equation lying on the right hand side of the S plane. So number of roots of the characteristic equation lying on the right hand side of the S plane equal to 0. That means nothing lies on the right hand side of the S plane. Hence closed loop control system is stable. In this example, open loop system was unstable and closed loop system is stable. There is no hard and fast rule that if it is stable in the open loop, it has to be stable in the closed loop. Converse also we can check. Open loop, unstable, closed loop stable. See in this open loop, unstable, closed loop stable. In the previous problem, open loop stable, closed loop stable. Next class I will do a problem in which open loop is stable, closed loop is unstable. Anything is possible, but keep in mind, Nyquist stability criterion is used only for investigating closed loop stability. Thank you.